Hi there, it's John Kowaleski, the cartoonist for Daddy Daze, and this is the sales kit for Daddy Daze. This is a folder filled with sample strips and information about characters and stuff that the syndicate takes out to sell your strip to newspapers, various other outlets. But what I want to talk about today is the logo of Daddy Daze. So as some of you may know, Daddy Daze was called Dadding Badly. And it was a strip I did when my son was born, and they were all true stories, and I just did it for fun. And then I fictionalized it up, and it ran on Go Comics for about a year, 2016 into 2017. And this was the awful, at least basis for the logo. I put a drop shadow on it in Photoshop, but I never cared for that much. So when the whole thing about the logo came up, that we needed to do a logo, I really wanted it. When I got a piece of fuzz here, fuzz, go away, fuzz. There we go. I really wanted it to, look like a kid drew it, or at least part of it. And one of the things that always seems to be the case in TV and movies, that kind of stuff, is that when something is supposed to be drawn by a child, always looks like it's drawn by an adult. So I roped my son, who Angus is based on, my 7-year-old at that time, into doing a whole bunch of daddies and days that he would just kind of had him keep drawing. You can see that they're upper and lowercase. Here's some dazes. Some more daddies, and just trying to get a feel for, how I would work this. I didn't really have an idea of where I was going to go. I kind of put an arrow there because I sort of like this one. I think I used this for a sort of a rough at one time. There's Daze again. And he started doing this open-faced letter. I always call them open face. He calls them balloon letters. And what happened was, there it is. One of the ones he came up with was this. And so I like this a lot. And I decided, a little bit of awkwardness. There we go. I decided that this was the one I wanted to use in some sort of fashion. But I cleaned it up. Wow, I'm very vibraty here. Let me try to get this a little bit more steady. What I did was I cleaned it up quite a bit. I moved down this, the opening, straightened up this, shortened up the bottom of this. You can see I worked on the D's quite a bit. I blunted off the bottom of the Y so it kind of matched the rest of them. So in some ways, perhaps it still looks like an adult did it, which hopefully it doesn't, but it might. Actually, somebody at my syndicate thought that I had done it myself. So in terms of what to do with Daze, I did this. I hand drew this. And we tried something with a couple of fonts. They didn't work out. You can see where I did Daddy in light pencil. That was actually right off my screen. I just put the paper right up on the screen and just traced it. That was so I could actually get it to nestle in here a little bit, especially things like the E and the Y and stuff like that. So because this is technically about me and my son, it's really nice to have this feeling. It's exciting to have the sales kit and show it to my son, and it's nice to have the logo be both hand-drawn by me and him. So, then, if you look on the inside, and I'll show you more of this some other time, you can see some of the character stuff. And I wanted to use the same sort of, makeshift font. So what I did is I drew it out myself. And I figured out a way to sort of hold my pencil so I could get the same feeling. And then I worked with a couple of different markers. You can see here, like these markers were way too big and bloody. Bloody meaning that they kind of bleed at the edges and stuff like that. Wow, look at that terrible manicure. Anyway, and when I did that, when I showed this to my son, he said, "Daddy, I could have done that for you. And I was like, well, I was running out of time. And mostly I was thinking it would have just taken me forever to clean it up. So that is the story of the logo. There we are. There's Daddy Daze. So thanks for reading, and I'll talk to you soon.